At the time of filming this, I'm 31, and I've ended up in a career that I didn't really expect to be in. After going through the traditional university system, I would identify as a man who invests his time and his life force into creating systems, educational videos, motivational videos, content blogs, various types of digital media, all with the intention of serving other men, other humans, but men specifically for the vast majority, and in essence, sharing what has worked for me, clients, friends, all on the pursuit of living the most authentic expression of self, free and unbridled and on your own terms. And as a career choice, explaining that at dinner parties definitely takes a few meetings, and sometimes it never gets explained because it's just the work that I do. And it's work that I do every day because it just found me. And I know a lot of people wish that happened to them. I've heard that many times, that if I found the work that I was supposed to be doing, I'd just do it. And for me, this is the work that found me that feels that way. And I got into it when I was 25, or maybe 24 and a half, 25, 6 or 7 years ago. And I was at a business event, and this was one of the first business events that I'd ever been to. And it was the first in person event I'd ever been to. But I'd been doing a lot of work in the digital realm, building a lot, running a lot of Facebook ads, selling offers, coaching myself, improving, really going headfirst into the how do I just live free and as the best version of me mindset. And when I'm at this event, this guy that I'd met digitally once or twice, he came over and he was kind of shy, cute looking, as in like his demeanor was cute. He wasn't like an aggressive guy. He was just, and he came over and he was like, he was American. He was like, Josh, I just really like your vibe, man. And I was like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. And he was like, I was wondering, could I pay you some money and you talk to me? And I was like, "Oh, all right, I guess so. How much do you want to pay me? And he was like, $75 an hour. I'll pay you for 4 hours. And I was like, all right, cool. And he was probably like my age, maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older. I can't really remember. And I was just surprised by that. I was surprised that he wanted to pay me. And I was like, all right, cool. And then we had these sessions, and we just did them once a week for a month. And by the second week, I'd got another referral client from his network. So he was obviously enjoying it. And in the sessions, he just asked me questions about what I'd been doing and how I'd think about certain scenarios and what I'd do in certain scenarios. And I was, very humbled at the fact that he found it valuable enough to want to pay me for that time. And I was like, oh, this is cool, man. And I continued that service, just sharing what had worked for me within the business I was doing / in life. Like how I was working out, what I was eating, how I was sleeping, the personal development I was doing, just anything really on this trajectory. It was just dudes that resonated with the trajectory of like we're becoming the best version and serving the world and expressing ourselves more authentically. And then they resonated with at that specific moment. Oh, this guy can help move me along that journey and I'm going to pay him. And I was like, cool. And then that offer developed. I continued to do that service and I never really knew how much to charge people. And the service developed to a point where my pitch was essentially like, look, spending time with me, good things happen and your life is going to improve and you'll feel better about where you're at. And I can share my systems and network and opportunities. It's a partnership of such. And I want you to invest into me an amount that makes you feel uncomfortable but doesn't put you in financial ruin. That would be my pitch. This is where the service got to. And off the back of that, I had various investments, multiple $1,000 investments from certain clients because it obviously made sense with the work we were doing on their performance, energy, approach, mindset, methodology, emotional control. All these things we were covering in the sessions would yield in their life significant uptick in the business they were doing, the projects they were a part of. That's what we were doing, and that model was working quite well. But after a time, it was just a little bit too muddled, and there was one contract specifically with a guy that just didn't go that well. And from my end, I don't feel I fulfilled. I feel like I fulfilled time and hours, and I record time and hours spent with clients to just know factually how many minutes I've spent one to one, for example, how many minutes I've spent group coaching, what they've received in their receivables because of my deliverables, so we can keep account, right? So I'd see that I delivered time to this guy, but his actual transformation for the money invested, he knew it wasn't that good, and I knew it wasn't that good. And anytime that happens along my journey, I've always and never been afraid to kind of pivot away from what's not working and pivot towards more of what is working. And in that specific example, I took a break from delivering service to this niche for like 18 months to recalibrate myself, because you can't serve when your energy is below a certain point, and mine did get there through to health, due to health reasons, some mindset stuff, a couple of U-turns. It happens, you know. It is what it is. We're all human. We're all dudes figuring this out. But during that time, I re-gravitated towards doing this work, and since then, a lot of what I've been, I think, doing for myself is validating the approach in a sense of, can you really start a service and be of the energetic level to be of service? So that's kind of like the physical side of it, and then the strategical side is, can you actually deliver an offer to the marketplace that people want to exchange for, and off the back of that system, build a life that's truly lived on your own terms? It's like validating that. And since it's been about 3 years, that's all we've been doing. That's all I've been doing in various different avenues. And there's many different little seeds that I've planted across the commercial world to just test to see if you can get up to where I think currently is a freedom number for most people, is 2 times your monthly outgoings in income, and preferably in recurring income. If you get to that point, that's a stable financial base in this commercial world that allows you to live a certain level of freedom, experience a certain level of freedom that gives you the time and space and energy and the means to explore other aspects of life, like relationships. And there's just more time to do life when you get to that point. So I've been validating that. And in doing so, I launched an offer to share that. And that went okay-ish. The 2 clients that went through that, again, the same thing. I know the deliverables are there. I have them recorded. I'm more than willing to share them. You know, I always think that if I was taken to court for the offers that I create, would I be able to share the deliverable evidence? Do you actually do what you sell? This is validation, right? And the world needs more of this. I know that sounds extreme, but in the digital world of delivering product and service to other men specifically to help them grow, I think the world needs more accountability and more genuine receipts, because otherwise what we experience is what we experience now, and nobody knows who's telling the truth. Testimonials can be faked, numbers can be faked, but the energy that you deliver it to and with, I don't think it can be faked, at least from my perspective. Because once you validate something and you truly know, it's like, oh, this is good. And the 2 deals that I did for the previous offer, which was obviously just another iteration of my service to men, I realized the gap between where they started and where they were going to go was too big, and I didn't give them the tools or the self-responsibility to actually build that their own way and take responsibility. I took too much responsibility, and I didn't deliver enough tooling and guidance. So I was like, I need to change that. So I went away again into the lab and created what is now my offer and service, which is firstly access to the Dopest platform, which is incredibly powerful for the actual sales side of it and hosting side of it. So think websites, funnels, sales systems, SMS, email automation, all the tools that you need to sell offers through the internet. And I know this because I've been doing it for 7 years. This is the comprehensive package. They used to be all stitched together, all various different softwares integrated to make the machine happen, to make sure that people understood what you were selling and then were able to buy it and then communicate with you and then for you to fulfill it, all of that. They used to be stitched together, and it used to be makeshift and more expensive than now. It's fully integrated. Giving that, just that, to a man is very empowering. It's a tool that, if he understands how it works, he can build an incredible existence and reality for not just him, but his whole unit. It literally is a way to create a channel to monthly recurring infinite revenue, and you can have it installed in 2 to 3 days if you get your head down and you really focus. That's powerful. So we give that, and I've moved away from the education model. So I'm not selling any of the education now, because I believe that it's actually more powerful and beneficial to give the man the tools and then empower him with guidance. So we have a guidebook, we have installation manuals, the system comes pre-installed. We're making it user friendly, and it's not just, oh well, good luck with the saw and maybe chop your hand off. It's like, well, here's how we've used the tool to create market viable offers that have scaled to $250,000 and beyond. This is literally what we did. You can do this if you want. If not, the tool's just here. Giving him that guidance, and then giving him the environment where, for example, the guy that's just joined, really all that's changed for him is that he now hears, yes, you can do that. Wow, that's going to grow. That's going to scale. Woof, man, that sounds really good. That sounds very promising. What's the next step? This is an environment that not many men find themselves in now. I know that to be true, because the most common environment is, oh, why are you doing that? Oh, that sounds risky. Oh, well, how do I better? They have no clue what's possible, and then therefore they don't share that with you because they can't, can they? They don't have that. They're not at that energetic level. So just by immersing yourself around that with the right tool and the guidance and the direction, and then really no bottleneck, no collar, in a sense of when I was building offers previously with people just this summer, it's the same things that I would encourage them to do now. It's just that all the education was coming from me. I was the bottleneck. That was a problem. That's gone now within the service, and I'm really grateful for that because it empowers people to just run with it unbridled. The guy that just got joined literally went through an unfinished version of the deliverable, and I told him it was unfinished. 3 days later, he's got a completely viable system, and that was really done within 48 hours. A couple of, on my end, Loom videos to send over, hey, tweak this, change that, because it's integrated. I can jump in and help out, which I like doing. It's fun for me, like a little technician behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Change this, blah, blah, blah. It's fun for me. In 3 days, without me there, for a price that is absolutely it's unbelievable. It's amazing that we can deliver this product for this price point, and I know already that it is not only scalable on your end infinitely, but also on our end, meaning that I'm not the bottleneck of fulfillment anymore, which is cool. Kind of let go of that. It's like no more education. It's like, let's sell the software. And that's what this has really turned into. My service now is that providing you, the dude that's hungry for it, ready to go after it and get it, is like, hey, look, this is what we've been doing for a few years now. Here's the principles, here's the tools, here's the support, here's the map. Let's roll. Let's go. And then every day you have the accountability, people checking in, people invested in your success. Because if you don't succeed with what you're doing, you're not going to keep renting my tools, are you? You're not going to keep renting the software from us. So our business goes down, right? We don't want to just drain you. It's like we want to take such a small % of what you make on our system that it would be ludicrous for you to ever leave. Obviously, that's what we're trying to make, though. That's being transparent, is empowering you with what you need. Whew. Cool, man. As you can see, this gets me fired up. This is why I continue to do it. And it's also within what I'm sharing on the platform, the service-driven mindset, is that there is probably something that you are very passionate about that almost feels like it's a bit overwhelming when you start thinking about what you would do if you let yourself do it. But I believe in there, that's the energy that if you tune into it and just live from it and just deliver from that place, whew, great things happen. Great things happen. People find your opportunities, find your doors open. It's just good. And it's very, feels good to do it. So I highly recommend it. So that's the really full view of the last 7 years of how it's gone. And I know that from this video, you'll have understood more of my approach, my energy. You'll have understood more about my shortcomings, and that obviously more to come on that, which is the nature of service and being a human. And again, we train our providers and people on our platform to understand that you are going to make mistakes and how to bounce back and how to just roll with the punches. You got to, that's going to continue. And I hope that and I know that it will have given you more perspective of what we're trying to build here. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you if you made it this far. Whew, I'd love to hear from you. You can drop me a line. There's relevant links in the description below. But that's the mission, man. Based on all that, that's the mission. Just share a free way of living authentically on your own terms. Whew, let's go. All right, much love. Peace.